In our package tonight, government admonishes Eket Ibiono people to allow peace reign in their domain. Labour suspends strike action, issues fresh 14-day ultimatum. Akwa Ibom government concludes plans on education exchange program with United Kingdom. Plus, two-day workshop on education skills upskilling ends in Uyo. We have details of these and other stories in a moment. A very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. I am Juliet Richard, and I begin by telling you that the state government has advised all the parties to the conflict which led to the recent blockage of the Eket Ibiono highway to allow peace reign to avoid loss of life and damage to property. The advice is contained in a release by the Commissioner for Information, Comrade Ini Ebemabong. The release noted that while government recognizes that the conflict is rooted in heritage claims which dates back to pre-independence era, it is constrained by the subsisting court actions on the same subject matter. The government posits that until the cases are resolved, nothing will be done in support or against the map. The release notes that government is committed to protecting lives and property, adding that Governor Moeno has directed that Commissioner for Internal Security and Waterways, General Koko Essien, retired, to interface with security agencies and put them on red alert to handle any adverse situation that may arise therefrom. The statement advised traditional and political leaders to act as peace advocates and not catalysts of conflicts. The Nigeria Labour Congress Tuesday night suspended its two-day protest all over the country. The NLC, in a communique at the end of the National Executive Council meeting, said the objectives of the protest were achieved on the first day of the demonstration. However, Labour says the nationwide action continues today with simultaneous press conferences across all states of the Federation by state councils of the Congress, including the national headquarters. The NLC says it has extended the 7-day ultimatum, which now expires on March 13, 2024, within which government is expected to implement all the earlier agreements of October 2, 2023, as well as the 17-point demand presented in a letter to President Tinubu. NLC's 17-point demand includes adoption of measures to mitigate the increasing hardship in the country, reopening of land borders to allow food, cement, and other essentials to be imported, immediate removal of the collection of levies, fees, dues, and tolls from petty traders across the nation by local and state governments. Others are drastic reduction of import duties on essential drugs, state government to immediately pay all owed wages, cash transfers of the vulnerable, with verifiable and inclusive social register and reduction of costs of governance. A delegation from Southwark Council, London, led by the Major, Mr. Michael Situ, has visited Governor Moino at the Government House, Uyo. During the visit, the group concluded plans on an education exchange program between students of Akwa Ibom origin and those of United Kingdom. A Government House reporter, Patience John, reports.
The London delegation said they were in the States to finalize arrangements for the education exchange program and other areas of mutual benefit, including business, sport, and tourism. The leader of the delegation, Mr. Michael Situ, lauded the ingenuity of the government and people of Akwa Ibom State for not only indicating interest to partner his government for exchange programs, but taking steps at a very impressive pace to concretize it, describing Governor Moino's leadership style as service-oriented. He says schools in the London borough of Southwark scheduled for the exchange program have also expressed willingness to equally come to Nigeria for the education exchange program.
To bring greetings from the leader, the chief executive, and the people of the London Borough of Southwark. One of the things I was particularly impressed about you, Your Excellency, is the passion, the zeal, and the warmth in which you showed me and you showed the London Borough of Southwark at your visit last year back to Akwa Ibom, that you would send a letter. And I think for me, I thought, okay, maybe a letter will come in 6 months, maybe in a year's time. But I was, to my surprise, received a letter in less than 2 weeks that you arrived. And for me, that told me quite a lot. That told me that you are a leader who is very hungry for change. You are hungry for success. You are hungry for making sure Akwa Ibom is much better than it is. Very proud of my heritage as a Nigerian, born in Nigeria and living in UK, but also thinking about how Nigerians in the UK and the wider UK can continue to play a more internationalist role. It's a lot to us in the London Borough of Southwark. We are the home of the largest Nigerians in diaspora in UK. I would argue perhaps the largest diasporans in the world outside of Nigeria in itself.
Earlier, Governor Moino described Situ's visit as a demonstration of integrity and commitment to the exchange deal and reaffirmed the commitment of the state government to fulfilling its partnership obligations. The governor proposed a forum of Akwa Ibom Southwark business community to help explore opportunities for investment between the two entities, ensuring of his administration's commitment to its success.
We believe we'll keep sending a lot more of talents from Akwa Ibom to the world, and following up both ways on the discussions we had. And on your part, we didn't have any doubt, because the environment you are raised and you now come from will keep, to their own promises and details of good lieutenants that are able to push. And I must give the credit to the Commissioner for Information, who has literally, been on this. And that's the only way to get things done.
Patience John, AKBC News.
A two-day mid-tact education skills upskilling workshop for principal of public secondary schools in the state has been rounded off in Uyo. The workshop, organized by the Akwa Ibom State government in line with Governor Moino's educational advancement policy, is part of the Akwa Ibom State United Kingdom Education Exchange Program. The program is aimed at demysticating the UK education module in the States. Mercy Ekere reports.
Welcoming the delegation from United Kingdom to Akwa Ibom State, the Commissioner for Education, Mrs. Didonresre Tebet, said she is grateful to Governor Moino for his commitment to education advancement in the state. The Commissioner, while expressing optimism on the outcome of the program, admonished the participants to make judicious use of the exposure and knowledge acquired during the workshop and put them into practice for the benefits of Akwa Ibom people. She reassured participants that the state government had concluded plans for the UK trip for qualified secondary school students who were successful during the examination for the UK Akwa Ibom State Exchange Program.
This is the golden era, and it's going to keep getting better. So the fact that the governor and the system thinks that we should have an exchange program doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing. But for a person that wants to do well, you need to constantly improve your art. Adopt what you can adopt.
On his part, the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Comrade Amy Mebong, told the participants to take advantage of the workshop and apply all they have learned in order to advance the course of education in the state.
And so we must borrow from them, apply it, and make our state the best in terms of that people can start coming here and we can sell it. Because you can't sell what is not of value.
The resource person for the workshop and senior education advisor, Southwark Council, United Kingdom, David Broomfield, led participants through several courses, including protocol of effective learning, styles of leadership, models of change, curriculum inspection, amongst others, while giving an overview of each topic in the United Kingdom context. Some participants who spoke with AKBC News, including the President, All Nigerian Confederation of Principals of Schools, Akwa Ibom State Chapter, Elder Steve Akpabio, were all thankful to Governor Moino for approving the workshop while bearing their minds on lessons learned.
We are very excited to be privileged to have the state government arrange this for us to meet with our counterpart in UK.
We are really thrilled and we are grateful to them for such opportunity to bring in somebody from the United Kingdom to tell us about the principles and the techniques of education in the UK. And we hope that we are going to adopt so many of what we have discussed today.
As a principal of a school, I will make sure my teachers do their work effectively. I go around by myself, not just leave the job to the teachers. I will go around to make sure the students are well taught.
Mercy Ekere, AKBC News.
We go for a break. More news when we return. Stay with us.
This is our home, where we all belong. The place where life is beautiful. The peaceful ambience we enjoy when we live together in unity and love. It's on him and you know, we go stand together, we go make them better. We be brothers and sisters, no matter where we day. It's on him and you know. No matter where we day, we are one. Let's live together in peace and harmony.
Good to have you back. We bring you the rest of our stories. A staff of the News and Current Affairs Directorate of the AKBC, Pastor Maggie Bam, Sunday laid her family, friends, and associates to a special Thanksgiving service following her convocation and conferment of Doctor of Philosophy in Communication and Media Studies. The service held at the Presbyterian Church of Nigeria, Wellington Basiwe, Uyo. Mercy Ekere reports.
Dr. Maggie Bam said she is grateful to God for seeing her through the Doctorate of Philosophy program in the University of Port Harcourt, saying God gave her victory despite all challenges she faced, adding that she will forever be committed to service in God's vineyard. She said she is grateful to her father for encouraging her to attain greater heights academically and in life, and for his support over the years. Dr. Maggie Bam called on the Nigerian government to make education affordable in order to encourage young people, no matter their class in life, to strive for academic advancement, given the role of education as a catalyst for societal development. She explained that financial constraint is one of the reasons some people abandon their academics.
That no matter the waves I went through, I succeeded. All the girls looking at me today, it is possible for you to be like me, whether you have money or not. How much did I have? Nothing. Everybody knows civil servants are not rich in Nigeria. I went through financial stress, got loans. My father will be running after his tenant. And God be the glory, I finished. But God saw me through.
Congratulating Dr. Maggie Bam for her accomplishment, the DG, Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation, Mrs. Magdalene Udokan, described her as a go-getter and competent staff who has made the corporation proud.
I'm here to celebrate a great sister. I'm here to celebrate one that has made the family very proud. I'm here to celebrate one that has made AKBC very proud. We had them like this last congregation, we had like 3 of them. And here she is, thanking God today. May God fulfill all your other dreams in this life.
The service featured prayers for the celebrator, choir renditions, among others. Earlier in a sermon themed Empowering the Laity as Conquerors, Elder Grace Bassi said, God has purposes for every man, and those purposes ought to be fulfilled, adding that when God assigns one on a mission, he bestows upon him strength and the grace to complete the purpose.
Empowering there means the authority given unto someone, the audacity, the license for someone to go and conquer, for someone to go and overcome, for someone to go and take control. That is the full assurance, the confidence that we receive from our Lord Jesus Christ.
Dr. Maggie Bam later treated her family and guests to a reception at her family compound. Mercy Kere, AKBC News.
Congratulations once again to Dr. Maggie Bam. The Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) has revealed plans to complete the Abia-Akwa Ibom Road and has warned contractors against the use of substandard materials during the project execution. Speaking with newsmen during an inspection of the road today, the Executive Director of Project NDDC, Victor Antai, said the Commission was no longer interested in Shadi Road project, but those that would last between 20 to 30 years. Antai, who represented the Managing Director of the NDDC, Dr. Samuel Obuku, appealed to the contractors in the Niger Delta to live up to the expectation of the contract agreement. He said the NDDC is trying to link the state with legacy projects that will stand the test of time. former governor of Anambra State, Mr. Peter Obi, has urged President Bola Tinubu to take full action as regards the recommendations of the Orunseya report, which suggests a streamlining of Nigeria's bloated governance structure and a reduction on fiscal wastage. The Orunseya report, a comprehensive review of government agencies and parastatals commissioned by the Goodluck Jonathan administration, proposed merging or scrapping redundant entities to cut costs and improve efficiency. In a statement shared via his official X handle, Mr. Obi asserted that the current economic challenges besetting the nation calls for a concerted effort to curb government expenditure. It will be recalled that President Tinubu had on Monday ordered a full implementation of the Orunseya-led committee's report, consequently announcing the merging, subsuming, scrapping, and relocating of several agencies of government, while acknowledging that Tinubu's decision was the right call. Mr. Obi, however, noted that beyond implementing the report, the government must go further and cut the cost of governance across the board. Mr. Obi, who was the Labour Party's presidential candidate in the last election, however, advised that we must not rush to implement the Orunseya report just because those that will be directly affected are mostly civil servants. Meanwhile, human rights lawyer Femi Falana has described the Steve Orunseya report recommending the merger of government agencies and commissions as outdated, saying the recommendations of the report will not guarantee a reduction in the cost of governance. The senior advocate of Nigeria said, contrary to the belief in official circles, the report won't substantially reduce the enormous cost of governance in the country, as it does not reflect the current situation in the public service. The 800-page report of the Steve Orunseya panel recommended the reduction of statutory agencies from 263 to 161, scrapping 38 agencies, merging 52, and reverting 14 to departments in different ministries. He said, whereas the report recommended the reduction of 263 agencies to 151, the number of ministries, departments, and agencies has increased to 1,316. Even the current administration has increased the number of ministries and created new agencies. The senior advocate of Nigeria said instead of downsizing the public service, the federal government should ensure that the two houses of the National Assembly are merged, while the number of ministers, special advisors, senior special assistants, and special assistants is significantly reduced. And that's the size of our package tonight. But before we go, a quick look at the top stories. The state government has advised all parties to the conflict, which led to the recent blockage of the Eket-Ibno highway, to allow peace reign to avoid loss of life and damage to property. The advice is contained in a release by the Commissioner for Information, Comrade Ini Ememabo. The Nigerian Labour Congress yesterday suspended its two-day protest all over the country. The NLC, in a communique at the end of its National Executive Council meeting, said the objectives of the protest were achieved on the first day of the demonstration. We also brought you a report that a delegation from Southwark Council, London, led by the Major Mr. Michael Situ, has visited Governor Moino at the Government House, Uyo. During the visit, the group concluded plans on an education exchange program between students of Akwa Ibom origin and those of United Kingdom. That's all we have for you tonight. We really appreciate your company. I am Juliet Richard saying good night.